Hello? Can you guys hear me? Okay, good. But we have nothing on the screen. Huh. Can we get the slides up? Okay. Okay, so I'm Patrick Curran, Chair of the JCP. This is Heather VanCura, who manages the Program Management Office.
Hello.
And together we're going to talk about how to participate in the future of Java. Can you plug that in and see if it'll work? But in the meantime... Okay, so welcome, thank you for coming. Sorry for the technical glitches. Let's get started. So we're going to talk about the JCP in general, but more importantly we're going to talk about how and why we would like you guys to participate, and then we'll focus in specifically on something we call the Adopt-a-JSR program. So, JCP is the collaborative mechanism through which we develop Java. Unlike in the Windows world, where what Microsoft wants is what you get, in our world, what the community wants is what the community gets. Everybody works together. We got about over 1,000 members, and we put together, developed about 300 and some specifications for different technologies, including, of course, the major platforms. Java EE7 was finished earlier this year. Java SE8 will be finished early next year, and Java ME8 is also coming along. So how we're organized, I'm the chairperson. We have an executive committee. It's kind of like our board of directors. I'll say more about that later. Program Management Office, which Heather runs. But the real work is done by expert groups, each of which is led by what we call a spec lead, and various members of the community who decide they want to participate in developing specifications. There are many ways you can participate as a member of the JCP. You can just simply kind of look from the outside as an observer. If you're a member, you can participate in the work of expert groups. You get to vote in the elections. As an expert group member, you can actually get much more involved in creating the JSRs. But this obviously requires more effort. Being a spec lead is a major effort, not something we recommend for individuals typically, because it'll just overwhelm you. So most of the spec leads are sponsored by organizations. And then membership of the executive committee. People who are members can run for the executive committee to participate in the high-level process of defining how we do our work. Next one, Heather. We actually now have 3 Java user groups on the executive committee. There's 25 members altogether, but we have SoJava from Brazil, represented by Bruno Souza, the London Java community with Ben Evans and Martin Verburg, and just a couple of weeks ago, a 3rd Java user group was elected in this year's elections, the Morocco Java user group, with Mohamed Taman and Badr El Houari. So we're very pleased about that, because now we have Arab representation, we have North African representation, new areas for us. We have a series of JSRs we've been working on to change the way we do our work. It's called JCP.next. And the first one was focusing on making things more open and more transparent, such that the expert groups would do things out in the open. The second one, JSR 355, merged our we used to have 2 separate executive committees. We merged them into one. And the third one, which we're working on at the moment, JSR 358, will be a major revision. And this is a complicated one. We're revising our legal foundations of the organization, and that means lawyers get involved, and it takes forever. But the result of all this is we're much more open than we used to be. We have public schedules, we have read-write access to wikis with information, we have public discussions, mailing lists that you can join, public issue tracker, and the result is that it really is very easy for people to participate in a number of ways. So if you're at all interested in, our slogan is make the future Java, you can actually help to determine the future of Java by participating in a number of ways. Next slide. So now I'm going to pass it over to Heather, and she can tell you how to get involved. So over to you, Heather.
Okay, thanks. So as we just mentioned, with the JCP.next effort, it's now easier than ever, and the JCP is now more open than it ever has been before in the past life of the JCP. So there are lots of ways for you to get involved, either as a JCP member or through the Adopt-a-JSR program that we mentioned. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that and why would you want to get involved. You can move the ecosystem forward. You can help us to make the standards process go faster by getting your input in early, being part of the solution as opposed to waiting until the specs are final and seeing that it's not what you wanted or your requirements were not put into the cycle of the JSR. This is a chance for you really to get in early and put your needs into the specs as they're forming and discussing what they would like to do, and ensure that the standards really are based on real-world Java developer experience, based on not only English-speaking people's experience, but also gets into the standards development process, the different languages, and the different experiences, and the different developer environments that you have. So it's important that we get all of these things together into the JCP, and we don't have the ivory tower as you had in the DevOps poster for the 10-year anniversary. So this is really what we're trying to do, is we're trying to make it a different JCP with your participation. So next, we'll talk about how you can join. So you can join the JCP as an individual, as a corporation, as a Java user group. So that's easy to do, and you can go to jcp.org. I've got the direct pointer here, how to do that. Register for the site, and then fill out the membership agreement. Also, on the next slide, we have areas for feedback. And as we mentioned earlier, since all of the specs are done out in the open, you can do these things without being a JCP member. Download and review the specification and provide comments. There's a public mechanism for you to provide your comments. No membership required. The JSR page will either have a Java.net project or a GitHub project where you can go and find the mailing list for providing your feedback, as well as an issue tracker. The issue tracker is public without registration. You can view the open issues for each JSR, and you can file issues and comment on issues to see if they're being resolved the way you'd like to see them. Also, we can get more involved. If you have a bigger time commitment, you can build sample applications. You can test against your existing applications and comment on the RI project as well. So that's more of a hands-on way to get involved. As you see at these conferences these days, most activities get more hands-on. People start getting involved, digging into the RI and extending that, building applications. So that's something that you can do. We also want to be sure that the JSR projects and expert groups are working in this transparent fashion. So we have a survey available where you can give us feedback. Give the spec lead feedback, give the expert group feedback. Let us know, is this JSR easy to review and comment on? Are people responding to the issues? We'll provide this information back to you. On the next slide, gives you an idea of some of the questions that are asked in the survey. So, is the spec lead and expert group communicating and interacting on their public mechanism? Is there actually some work going on there? Is the expert group representative of all types of groups within the space of a particular JSR, or is it more focused only on vendors? And whether the expert group is publishing drafts. So some of the changes that we did with JCP.next focus on agility, getting the JSR to release early and often. So are you seeing these downloads available? Are they releasing early, and are they releasing often? And do you see kind of a convergence of competing implementations? So you can give us feedback in that way on each of the active JSR projects. We have about 30 JSR projects that are active right now. In a drop-down menu, you can select any of these JSRs. And the next slide. So we talked about this is kind of as an individual you can participate, that's okay, but we also encourage you to participate working through your Java user group or your employer. You can help each other, work together, and teach each other and collaborate to produce better results. And as a next slide, Java user groups joining the JCP. I've talked to several people just in the last day since I've been here, Java user groups who aren't part of the JCP yet. We do have quite a few Java user groups in the JCP, 45 from all around the world, but more are welcome. So the Java user groups actually, 2 years ago, introduced an initiative called Adopt-a-JSR, which is really about feeding this Java developer feedback into the JCP. So an organized program to do that. It's kicked off by the London Java community. Thank you. And it's a JUG-led initiative, but not only JUGs can participate. Also, people working at companies can participate, and individuals. This is hosted on Java.net, and we have Java user groups around the world participating in this program right now, over 25 Java user groups in all areas of the world. This helps your JUG, also giving you attention and gives you a chance to work with other people across other regions. And you can join the Adopt-a-JSR project on Java.net. We encourage you to become a JCP member first and then join the project on Java.net and work together with the spec leads and expert group members to find out what their needs are. Mail your Java user group members to get feedback, and follow us on the wiki and Twitter. I'll give you those links in a second. And we have, I think, one more slide where we talk about putting the community back into the JCP. There really are no barriers to participation, and all members of the Java community can participate. You can participate in the implementations through Glassfish for Java EE, through OpenJDK for Java SE, and in the evolution of the platform through the JCP and the Adopt-a-JSR programs. And we have a BOF session tonight where we'll go into a lot more detail. This was a quickie to give you a taste of what you can do. We'll have a full hour session tonight at 9 p.m. downstairs, and some links here where you can follow us on Twitter to find out more about Adopt-a-JSR. And on the next slide, I have some JCP links. JCP_org on Twitter and JCP.org online. I think we're out of time, so I hope to see you tonight. Thank you.